Well, this is Combat Mission Final Blitzkrieg. This is their Battle of the Bulge, or whatever you want to call it, version. So this is a scenario I created, designed the map myself. Another AI defense for the most part. So for the most part, the AI is just static. Essentially, I just place them in crucial ambush zones, things like that, that I would place them in if I were playing as the AI, and it just makes for a lot better defense when you're playing against it. I've basically, combat missions, crappy AI has forced me to design maps over the years and create different scenarios and script my own AI, things like that. So defense is just always going to be easier because then you don't have to, script as much. You can maybe put 50% static troops, 50% fluid defense with AI or things like that. I'm actually starting from where the Americans would start. This is their setup zone, these fields, this little town, all this, and what you're seeing in the red there is the access deploy zone, and then you're seeing some straggler groups that are outside of the deploy zone. So the Germans, if you were to play as the Germans, you would be stuck with these guys outside the zone. And essentially what they are, you can see here, is you got a tank hunter team, another tank hunter team, you got a light machine gun team, a sniper, a scout team. What it is just a bunch of SMGs and assault rifles and light machine guns and snipers and Panzerfrost to kind of hold up the advance. Then you got kind of a straggler sniper group over here as well. Like I said in my video describing my Fortress Italy, I love designing the maps. It's probably almost my favorite part of the whole ordeal. But I end up generally giving too much cover. So this would be kind of a route the Allies would take up this road into this little lumber village here, this little small town, or you could go with a more open approach through the fields here. These battles last a long time, and I'm going to probably do a playtest of each of my maps because they're both roughly in the same crude state of development. You got an objective here, you got an objective here, and you got an objective here, so I believe 4 in total. Now, you can't fully, but if you pay attention, let me turn the trees off here for a second. If you look at the elevation on the map, it rises and dips in several different areas, and you're able to see over this, but for the most part, there's this massive rail line that I have cutting the map in half, and that kind of acts as, for the most part, you can't see much over it, and they can't see much over it. In several spots they can, but so first real objective, you got kind of a rail station here. And like I said, all scenarios are fictional. Kind of, sometimes I'll read different magazines about World War II and get inspired by it, or read it on the internet. But everything's for fun, fictional. And you got kind of a decent little defense here. The Germans, they can put up one hell of a assault or defense, whatever you choose. Get over here, you got some straggler groups, but then we'll go ahead and take a look at the town proper, if you will. Essentially, this is just kind of, Allies heard of heavy German elements, and they're moving in on them, type of thing. So, the Germans are fielding PZ-4s, heavy armored cars, 75mm, forget what that's called again. They got Hummels. They've really got a mix in here. I've got a King Tiger in there. That's kind of why I call this scenario Dethroning the King. And I'm thinking about putting bonus points, a hidden objective if you destroy this King Tiger. You'll get a little extra points there. So here's the town. Like I said, I enjoy designing the maps. It's fun. You can add flavor objects. You can add, different thing, telephone poles, barrels, things like that, make it a little bit more immersive or look better. Got a couple PC4s there. What do we got here? Got a Wesp, you know, so I got some Hummels, Wesps. Really a wide variety. Stug 3. See, when you're not, if you're designing your scenario, I can get a little more creative with it. I mean, of course, I could buy a tank group with all these varied tanks, but for the most part, you know, you're gonna buy a platoon or a company of Sturmgeschütz or a company of PZ4s or PZ3s or something along those lines. Got a couple Kubelwagens and some little recon cars, 20mm armored car. Got your heavy armored car here, 75mm. Germans, of course, have some badass vehicles. This is kind of an airport or military base, whatever you want to call it. It is an objective with the whole breach with the infantry. I like to make some like walled objectives a lot of the times that are heavily fortified. It's like military bases, hospitals, you know, airfields, things like that. That way you got a breach and clear, and right now the enemy's all kind of placed for you to come at them from the openings. That way if you breach and clear properly, it kind of rewards you. You know, German squads aren't nothing to laugh at. You've got a sniper Gewehr in there, MG42 Sturmgewehrs, and that's just a regular rifle group. So, and of course, if you come through the forest here, you're going to be met with nice little defense. You got a Hetzer here. Of course, that's a pretty nice tank destroyer. Got a couple of Panzerfaust troops and armored cars. I think I made that weaker. I think I used to have a large German force in here, or maybe that's a different AI script that I put for them. But yeah, this is another defense. Right now it's roughly hour and a half assault. Essentially, you got the Allies, I think, have some support as far as howitzers and artillery they can call in. They've got plenty. All my scenarios, I give you plenty to deal with the task at hand, but I like to make them balanced to where you can lose as well. You know, keep the points fairly balanced to where if you fuck up too many times that you gotta play it again. So this one, Dethroning the King, Combat Mission Final Blitzkrieg. I'm gonna put out a playtest with this as well as my Fortress Italy map. So just let me know what you guys think, if this is something that you want me to put out there in the internet so other people can play as well. Alright, thanks guys.